See your true colors shining through. We are going to have fun today. Let me grab out some gloves. We're going to get messy. And we're going to make some color today. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this one. I am super, super excited. So almost a whole year ago, we made our own organic flavorings. We used olive oil and we infused that with the flavors that we want for flavored olive oils. Today, we're going to take that same sort of idea and we're going to make food color. So for a base, we're going to use refined coconut oil or MCT oil, whichever you prefer. And we're going to make ourselves a collection of little colors. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. I did already trying to wave at you guys without knocking her, and I'm flipping you around so smooth, Dory. Okay, no waving. No waving, because you're gonna fall down. I love you. I'm waving in real life. I can't touch the button. So I did already try the yellow, so I know it's gonna work out really, really well for us. And also, I will caution you, use gloves, because Dory was playing colors this morning without gloves, and I have colorful fingers. So we're going to add some gloves to the process. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do a yellow color, and I'm going to use turmeric to color that. I don't find that turmeric has an overly strong flavor, especially in small quantities, and we don't need a lot of it to color our MCT oil. So I picked these up at my local dollar store, Dollarama. Wherever you find these little glass jars, these ones work out perfect. So I'm going to add some MCT oil, and I'm not going to fill it all the way. I'm going to tell you why. Because the cork will suck up your color, and then you'll end up with a mess. So you want to make sure that you're not shaking these with the cork on, so it's not making a big, huge mess. Now we're going to need a couple little tools to do this. I've got a teeny little funnel here, which is going to help me. I dropped it into the oil earlier. Bad idea. You want to be a little bit more careful than that. We're going to use, I'm going to say probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon of turmeric in a tablespoon of olive oil. So I'm going to add that in there. Now in the bottle, it looks kind of like a muddy orange color, but when you shake it up and we check the color on paper towel, it makes a really sunny yellow. So we're just going to mix that in, and you can see it looks quite orangey. But I'm going to show you a secret. We're going to use white paper towel and the oil on my finger, and we're going to see what color it is. So it's this nice, bright, sunny yellow. Another good way to check what color your dye is going to come out as is with a toothpick. So you can take a toothpick and pop it into your color for a minute, and it'll give you an idea of what your color is going to look like. So this one's going to be our yellow, and you can see it makes a nice, bright, sunny yellow color. So yellow, done. The next color we're going to do is an orange, and I'm going to use paprika for that one. So we've got our yellow corked. Now paprika, again, I find has a really strong color and not a lot of flavor. We're going to use this for colored frosting. We're going to use it for anything I would normally put food color in, which you guys know is everything. The other day I made unicorn waffles with my Clubhouse coloring. But I know a lot of you don't want the chemical coloring, or your kids can't have the chemical coloring. I did look into purchasing organic colors, and they're really expensive, and I don't have a budget for that, and I couldn't find a company to send me some to try. So I thought, you know what, let's just make it at home instead, and look at this nice bright yellow that we get just with a little bit of turmeric. So all healthy, there's nothing in there that we can't have. So let's make an orange. Same thing, we're going to add our MCT oil and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of paprika. And again, it's going to look really quite rusty orange, but when you use it, it's going to be a lot brighter orange color than it looks in the bottle. So again, with gloves, you definitely want a glove to be playing. And I'll get us another white piece of paper towel so that we can see what our color comes out as. Now this one, I'm going to add a little bit more paprika. It doesn't have quite as much color in it as turmeric does, so I'm going to add just a little bit more of the paprika so we get a nice sunny orange. Mix that up. And then we have a couple vegetables to use. Now, I did look at quite a few, well, not quite a few, a couple different ideas about making organic color. Now, everything I came across suggests to use water. Just boil your vegetables in water. The problem with that is it's not going to be shelf stable. You're not going to be able to just leave that. I'm going to put a stick in there so we can look at the color. You won't be able to just leave it on your countertop. It won't last more than a couple of weeks. You would have to refrigerate it and it won't keep long term. So what we're going to do is an oil base so that it is shelf stable and we can just leave it. So I bought one, just turn so you guys can see, one pink beet, one small beet, and we're going to take the amount of oil that's going to fit in our jar, and then we're going to pour it over top of the beet. I'm going to add a little bit extra because I'm going to lose some of it in straining it off. And I'm going to pop this in the microwave for 1 minute to heat up the oil so that it will take the color of my beets. So while that one is in the microwave, I'll show you what else we've got on the go. I've got some purple cabbage to do the same thing with, and I've got some spinach. Now this was previously frozen, so I dabbed all of the moisture off with paper towel. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to pour some MCT oil. Now you could use olive oil or avocado oil for this as well. The reason why I chose MCT oil is it's a very clear base, whereas my olive oil and avocado oils have a little bit of a color to them, and I want to get the truest color that we can. So we're going to use a clear oil for that. And I've got cut up one leaf of purple cabbage in this one and a small handful of frozen spinach in this one. So let me take a peek on our beets. Woo! That gets hot fast. Hot fast. Okay, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a stir. And I'm going to put them back in to cook a little bit longer so that we get more of the color in our oil. Now, depending on how small your pieces of beets are, this could take anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes in your microwave. Put that in for another 30 seconds to cook. Now, you could also just soak these for a really long time. If you were to put them in your olive oil and just leave them to soak for, I would say, 5 days to a week, you're going to get the same idea. Heating up the oil just speeds up that process so that we don't end up having to wait, a week and a half to be able to have our colors. So let's take a peek and see what our orange is looking like. Now again, you can see it's kind of a muddy, rusty orange, but on our toothpick it's a lighter, sunnier kind of orange color. Okay. Whew, hot, hot. Okay, so we're going to set that one aside, and let's start with our purple. Now, this is not looking as nice as I thought it would with the MCT oil. We might need to try it with an avocado oil that's going to take a little bit better color. When I originally put it in, now again, this is because we do these things all at once. It's a good thing I have another half of a beet to use. When I first put it in, it was starting to take more color. As my beet got more cooked down, it seems to have less color. So I think we might need to try something else with that and see what happens. I don't know. I'm going to try the spinach one and see. At least I know that the powdered colors work for sure. That's what happens. And we can try it again with water. Again, I have still half of a small beet, but those ones will have to refrigerate. So it's looking like we might actually need to do the beet with water to get the right color out of it. Who knows until you try, right? You never know until you try. But success on the orange and yellow so far. Now, there are colored powders that you can purchase as well, and things like my luster dust. So you could easily add some sparkle to your organic colors as well, just to kind of take them up a notch. And it would make them in a white frosting look metallic. So any of your colors would present metallic in white, and that would be super fun too. Metallic kind of icings, a lot of fun. So let's take a look at this spinach and see what's going on in there. Now I'm thinking it might be because of heating up MCT oil as opposed to what happens when you heat up an olive or an avocado oil. So I'm gonna say we're gonna ditch that and we're gonna try something different. So give me 2 seconds to toss these ones out, and we're gonna try it again with water and see. But again, keep in mind these ones then would need to be refrigerated. So let me just empty these out, and I'll get us, actually I'll just set them aside and I'll get us 2 new ramekins. That's quicker and easier. I have a big fat ramekin collection in case you guys didn't notice. I have a lot. They come in really handy for practically absolutely everything. So let's try this again. I'm going to get out some spinach. And let's try it like the one that I saw that said with water. We'll give it a shot. I will put a little water in it and see what happens. I just was hoping to get something that would be more shelf stable, but oh well, what do you do? So we've got a handful of spinach. I'm going to add a little bit of filtered water. And in the microwave it goes. And you could see the yellow does work really good. My gloves are pretty yellow from that. So let's get this put back together. I'll grab out my other little half of a beet. Good thing I only used half. I'll tell you what. Smooth, sorry. So smooth. But you know what? That's the key too. Not everything that you think in your head is going to work out exactly the way you thought it would. So you always kind of need to keep in the back of your mind with keto, you know what, maybe that's going to work, maybe it's not going to work, but it's worth a shot. So I'm happy with the powders. So I guess if you could find colored powders to be able to add to your oil, then that would work just one quick, easy step, and maybe we can research a little bit better for what colored powders we can get that are natural, like ground up flowers and stuff of that like, and see what we can get on the go. So I'm going to cut up my pink beet, and we'll add some water and we'll boil it off and see what happens. You could just use beet juice as well if it was unsweetened beets. A lot of times they'll add sugar to your beets, so you definitely want to make sure they're an unsweetened beet. But beets on their own give you quite amount of color. So let's add a little water, and we'll put that in the microwave and see what happens. Swap out for our spinach. Woo! Okay, let that one go a minute. And let's take a look at this and see how this is doing. Now, this is definitely not as dark as I was hoping it was going to be. The other option I was looking at for a green would be a matcha tea. But, again, it's not available to me locally without having to go to a specialty store. So, I might have to do a little bit of extra shopping for you guys to try out a matcha tea. This is kind of, It's more yellow than it is green. We're gonna let it cook a little bit longer and see, but I don't feel like I'm going to get a true green out of spinach this way. Now, if you're adding it to foods, yes, you will get the green that you want. You can blend it into a fathead dough. You can blend it into your pastas and things like that, your keto pasta, which we're gonna work on later this week, I think. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I will post the link for you. My girlfriend Nancy from Keto for Real Life People invented like the best miracle dough. So I think we're gonna do some variations of that to make a keto pasta. So exciting. Okay. Oh yeah, see now the water worked better with the beets, and we definitely have a really nice color for that. So once that cools, I will strain it. I have a little strainer. So you take your strainer, take your sieve, all together, one smooth move, and pour it into your little glass container. But I definitely want to let that cool so that it doesn't break the glass. But I will take a little piece of paper towel and dab my finger in and show you the color that it gives. So this would be like a nice light pastel pink in your icings. So it would be a light pastel. I'll try to move so that you guys can see a little bit better with the light. There we go. So that one would be kind of a more pastel pink. The other thing I will tell you is when you're looking at organic colors, unless you're buying a powdered colored tincture to add, you're really only going to be able to achieve pastels. That's unfortunately how it works with organic colors because of the amount that you're adding. So I'm gonna let these cool. I'm gonna go through the process again with the purple cabbage and cut it up, boil it up, let it cool, and then I'll take some pictures for you guys. But I will shake up this yellow again. You would need to shake it each time you're gonna use it and show you what color we get out of it, because I think the yellow is my favorite. I also did pick up some blueberries to try a purple blueberry mix, but I'm out of little jars, so we're gonna have to wait until I get some more little jars. But it gives you a really, really nice, bright sunshine yellow with just a little bit. So be careful with it when you're making it and when you're working with it. It will certainly stain your fingers a lot. But I hope that that helps you guys if you're struggling with some of the added chemicals and such. You still want to have fun, but you don't want to have all of the processed stuff. So stay tuned. Later in the week, we're going to experiment with a few more fun and interesting things. Let me know what you guys are struggling with. What do you need? What recipes are you missing? What do you love? What do you want? And we'll work on it this week. We're coming close to KetoCon, so I'm going to have to get whatever creating we're going to get done over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then the last couple weeks we'll just be focusing on getting ready for KetoCon, packing, talking to people who are going to be at the event so you guys have an idea of what to expect, and getting myself ready, because man, it takes forever to travel to get everything all organized. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we're going to have some fun with color, and it doesn't have to be chemicals. Have an awesome day, guys. Let's get our song back. Miss Cindy Lauper. We love her. Have an awesome Wednesday, guys. Let's get back together a little later and just chit-chat, because I miss you guys. We don't do enough just chit-chat. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, darlings.